13 minutes past the hour, the candidate who won the straw poll on Saturday and the candidate who stole some of her thunder collided in Iowa over the weekend. It was Michelle Bachmann versus the newcomer to the race, Texas Governor Rick Perry. The GOP race is getting hot as President Obama hits the road with a counterattack. Joining me to talk about it are Republican analyst Leslie Sanchez and co-founder of the St. Louis Tea Party, Dana Loesch. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Carol.
Good morning.
Okay, so something interesting on Politico this morning. Michelle Bachmann and Rick Perry were in the same room in Iowa. They did not engage. The difference was Rick Perry was mingling with the crowd. He was putting his arms around people. He was saying y'all a lot. He was very charming. Michelle Bachmann sort of stayed on her bus until she had to take the stage. She was surrounded by security and really didn't let voters get close to her. What do you make of that?
I think it's campaign style. I wouldn't make too much out of it. They're both uniquely passionate in the sense that they have good, strong, as she said, grassroots appeal. Rick Perry, though, he is a retail politics candidate. One thing a lot of people may not know about him, he likes the to burn through the shoe leather. He likes people and to engage, handshake, call them y'all. It is not uncommon for him to sit on a bar stool and talk to folks, you know, regularly about issues because he's very engaged in issues. I had a chance to talk to both Bachmann's pollster and Perry's pollster extensively, and they both talk about the positive attributes in terms of campaigning. Again, Rick Perry's somebody just getting started, but a very strong campaigner. His team likes that. He's very direct on message. He's had a core team that's been with him some since 1998. They're both going to be doing a lot to engage the base of this party.
Of course, they both have conservative values, and Dana, I want to ask you about this. Michelle Bachmann took some flack from reporters this Sunday for her previous statements on gay people. In the past, she said that people who are gay are in personal bondage, personal despair, and personal enslavement. She also said that she'd reinstitute the military's don't ask, don't tell policy. I want you to listen to the exchange she had with NBC's David Gregory on Meet the Press.
When it comes to marriage and family, my opinion is that marriage is between a man and a woman. And I think that's been my view.
So a gay couple with kids would not be considered a family to you?
You know, all of these kind of questions really aren't about what people are concerned about right now.
Of course, Rick Perry is said to have a pretty good record when it comes to creating jobs in Texas. Mitt Romney is sort of running on, yeah, I did a pretty good job in Massachusetts. So what's the difference between those two?
Well, in terms of their record, they're both governors. They both have proven records in the area. They've both looked at the jobs issue and the health care issue. With respect to Governor Perry, he's certainly somebody who looked at something a little bit different. In 2010, he laid out a framework to say, let's build and invest in infrastructure. If we do that with lower regulation, you're going to see increased revenues generated by the new generation of jobs. We can put that money into education and other areas that the state dramatically needs, especially because of the failure at the federal level. I think you saw the same kind of experience leading very much the way with Governor Romney. Both of them have different challenges in that sense. I think ultimately they're going to be appealing to a lot on the economic issues. I was in Ames. That, again, is going to be the top priority. Who can get the economy moving? The president has that kind of economic albatross around his neck. And what voters are ideally looking for, and what I heard in Ames, is somebody with credibility to prove they can get those jobs created and businesses.
Okay, so just quickly, because Warren Buffett has an op-ed in the New York Times, and he said, you know, I talked to my really wealthy friends, and we're ready to make a sacrifice. We want our taxes raised. And since all of the Republican primary candidates are totally against raising taxes, won't that eventually work against them, since the majority of Americans thinks taxes should be raised on wealthy Americans?
I'll tell you this much, too. What I heard a lot on the ground, you know, especially with some of these AARP voters, is that they believe that 50% that are not paying taxes, that certain corporations are the bad apples in the group, and they are not paying taxes. And I had other business leaders who said, you know, we pay 31% taxes. We want to show that we're part and contributing to this economy. I think there's a little bit of that class warfare debate that is really real. People feel that some are taking advantage of the system, gaming the system, so to speak. They want it fair all the way around, but what they don't want is to stifle the ability to grow private sector jobs. That they feel with burdensome
So
regulation.
there's no wiggle room, in other words, from any of these candidates. You don't envision maybe Mitt Romney or Rick Perry or Michelle Bachmann saying, maybe we should raise a little revenue by
Not
making
in this
GE
lifetime.
Not
No.
in this lifetime. Leslie Sanchez.
No.
Dana Loesch, thank you so much for joining us this
Thank you.
morning.